I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Book, and today we look at part 2 of the top albums of 1979. Margaret Thatcher became the first woman Prime Minister in Britain, and the Motor Trend Car of the Year, the Buick Riviera-esque. It was 1979 when McDonald's introduced their Happy Meal. Like Peter Frampton did in the beginning of 1976, it was a live album that broke Cheap Trick to a massive audience. At Budokan was recorded on April 28th and 30th, 1978, in front of a Beatles 12,000 screaming Japanese fans. You can really feel the kick of the audience on the first single, I Want You to Want Me. Originally titled From Tokyo to You, it will go on to become Cheap Trick's biggest selling album. The boys also did a cover of Fats Domino 1955 hit Ain't That a Shame. It was also recorded by the Four Seasons in '63. Cheap Trick are set to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. Billy Joel had a few false starts in the early 70s. His debut album, Cold Spring Harbor, stalled at number 128 on the album charts. The Piano Man, however, his Columbia Records debut, came in strong with its autobiographical title tune. But the next two, Streetlife Serenade and Turnstiles, were flat in comparison. But then came The Stranger, with 4 hits including his signature Just the Way You Are. In 1979, Joel continued to trend even higher with his first number 1 album, 52nd Street. Like its predecessor, every track became well-known, hit or not. The biggest tracks on the radio were My Life, Big Shot, Honesty, and Until the Night. Piano Man will go on to have 3 more number 1 albums. Adding Michael McDonald to the Doobie Brothers was kind of a shock to the fans who had been with them since their debut in 1971. As a rough-and-tumble motorcycle rock and roll band who had many hits with their original lead singer Tom Johnston, it took a few tries for the formula to stick with Michael McDonald. Out of the gate in 1976, McDonald's first album with the band, Taken It to the Streets, scored a number 13 hit with the title tune. But the follow-up, Living on the Fault Line, didn't even have a hit. In 1979, the skies cleared big time for the band's 8th LP, Minute by Minute. It was guitarist Jeff Skunk Baxter who originally suggested McDonald to join the band. The two had worked together with Steely Dan, and now, at last, they celebrated the same kind of success with the Doobie Brothers. Even though it was Baxter's last album with the group, it was a sweet goodbye, winning 4 Grammys the following year. They broke up in 1982, but by '87 they were back together with original lead singer Tom Johnston. In 1975, the Bee Gees were a changing band, dabbling in disco with the song Jive Talking. Donna Summer was doing the same thing, but in her case there was a lot more moaning going on. Was she really doing that while recording Love to Love You Baby? It was an epic tune produced by the great Giorgio Moroder. 4 years later, in 1979, Summer's career peaked with her only number 1 album, Bad Girls. The double album featured the singer as a lady of the night on the cover. The set had 4 hits, Hot Stuff, Bad Girls, Dim All the Lights, and Walk Away. All the fame was very tough on Summer. She became addicted to prescription medication and reportedly suffered a mental breakdown. While healing, she became born again. She died of lung cancer on May 17, 2012. She was 63. Originally a progressive rock band, Supertramp was always hard to categorize. If you only knew their singles, one could easily assume they were an acoustic pop band. But those album tracks became as famous for their trippy musical adventures with sometimes spiritual overtones. The new age guy was Roger Hudson and his pessimist partner, Rick Davies. Both sang and wrote most of the songs. The pair also gave Supertramp a real Lennon and McCartney duel, where it was hard to pick a side. Though the boys had some personal problems while making breakfast in America, the Yanks served as a muse much like Fleetwood Mac and Rumors. It was their biggest commercial and only number 1 album, producing 4 singles, the title song, Goodbye Stranger, Take the Long Way Home, and their highest ranking tune ever, The Logical Song, which peaked at number 6. In 1983, Hodgson left the band, and on August 4th, 2015, the group announced Davies was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, canceling their upcoming tour. We wish him well. Look for more features on the top albums of the 70s on our channel, and please subscribe. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Book.